So I had spent well over 20 years photographing the Pacific Northwest wilderness, and I had yet to get a good photograph of a bear. So I got excited when I booked some backpacking permits to the Olympic Peninsula's High Divide, because I read in the trail guide that you could quite often see bears, especially in the fall, which is when we were going there. Our first night, we backpacked into Deer Lake, and then the next day, hiking from Deer Lake to High Divide, we saw them. And they were really nearby, and I took a few photographs, and I was just giddy to have had that opportunity, and was so looking forward to spending the whole week photographing bears. And so we kept hiking up, got to the High Divide, and to my surprise, there were no more bears. The whole rest of the trip, I didn't see a single other bear. So I felt really foolish for not having spent more time with those couple bears we saw on the way up. Eventually, the 4 days passed and we were back at the trailhead again. So the next day, when I drove into town, I called a friend of mine who's also a nature photographer, but who does more wildlife than I normally do. And I asked him if he would like to plan another trip back there to photograph the bears on the Olympic Peninsula. And he said, well, we could, but I know this place at Mount Rainier that I think we should go to. So we planned a trip and went to Spray Park at Mount Rainier. And it was really funny because we were hiking up, and about a 10-mile hike, right? And we're hiking up and we get to a bend where he said, okay, it was around this bend that I saw the bears last time. Sure enough, we hike around the bend and there's a mother and her 2 cubs, and we couldn't believe it. So stopped in our tracks, got the cameras up, so that's basically the best thing to do. Is if you see a bear, stop perfectly still, take your photographs, let them do their thing. And it was usually, we'd have like 2 to 5 minutes of watching them do their behavior before they would disappear into the bushes. And then we'd hike a little more down the trail until one popped out again. And so we had a really fun afternoon photographing the bears in the meadows like that. And these are black bears, but in the Mount Rainier area, they're a cinnamon black bear. So they get this reddish color. And this particular mom had one big cub that was black and one that was cinnamon. So it was a fun little combination to see them all. So we saw the mom with the 2 cubs and then 2 adult males separately. And most of the time we were about 100 yards or so from them, maybe a little closer. But at one point in the afternoon, we had one of the males pop out in a meadow like 50 feet away from us. It was like, whoa. And the beautiful sun was backlighting him, and literally he walked into the meadow, looked up for one moment, turned and walked away. It's a very brief encounter, but very close and very moving. So that evening, after we lost our light, we hiked back down and my friend went home. But I had a whole nother day to decide if I wanted to stay in that area or go photograph a different part of Mount Rainier Park. The only thing I could really think of that I didn't get, because I had so many good photographs of them in the meadow, was if I could somehow get the bears with Mount Rainier in the background. That would make it worth hiking back up. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna stay one more day. So I hiked the 10 miles back up by myself, got all the way to the end of the trail, no bears. They weren't there that day. So I said, oh well, at least I got good exercise. It was a beautiful day at the mountain. Started hiking back down. As I was hiking down, all of a sudden I spotted them on the trail below me. So I had to actually hike off the trail, down and around, while staying on rock because you can't trample through the meadows up there. So I had to find a route to go around them, get below them, and then line the mountain up behind them, and then gradually get closer and closer, as close as I could, until all 3 of them looked up. I took the photo and then backed away slowly. That was an incredible moment. In terms of wildlife photography, that was a top of the mountain experience for me. And I'm so glad that I get to share that experience with you. You may wonder why I don't feel nervous around bears in the wilderness. Well, I'll tell you, they taught us in photography school how to handle bears in the wild. So you need to know 3 things. 1 is you wear bells on your shoes so they can hear you coming. 2 is you always carry pepper spray. And 3 is you know how to identify bear scat. And you can identify bear scat because it smells like pepper and it has bells in it. Ba-dum-bum. Seriously though, bears are no laughing matter. Be bear safe. Don't try to hug one even though they look cuddly. They look really cuddly.